Hey, welcome into the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. Week 11 starts it. Here we are, a couple weeks out from playoffs, arguably the most important stretch leading up until fantasy football glory. This is your moment to decide, am I going to quit or I'm going to push through, make the right waiver claims, make the right start sits. That's why you're here today. As always, your host, Mac, joined with my co-host down below, Lando. What's going on, baby?
Mackie boy, I am ready for this. It's been a tough week for me. It's been a tough week for everyone. We've been super busy. We just got bad news about Joe Mixon, and I've just been crumbled. I feel like I'm defeated right now.
But
we are not defeated.
Lando was making plans to be here with me at my place so that we could do this show live. And when the news hit, and we were talking about this, Friday? Right before we were doing the podcast, the one that released on Saturday, we were saying, oh, Joe Mixon, the injury, like it's becoming kind of annoying because they're saying, oh, it's not that bad. But then another week goes by and he doesn't play. Oh, it's not that bad. And then the news drops that Joe Mixon is going to IR. Landon just crumbled. He said, look, I can't go anywhere. I've got to stay at home. I'm in a glass case of emotion. I can't be driving right now. I can't. The guy just shut it down. He put himself in a little quarantine, little lockdown. He's in Joe Mixon despair.
That's me. But for the good news of anyone who has Gio Bernard, I think he's a decent start this week. He presents a pretty safe floor for your team. The Washington defense is good, actually. They're really good. So his upside is somewhat limited, but I still think Gio is a good play.
Very quickly going through the outs. Now, we had some news at the beginning of the week that the Oakland Raiders defense was actually in close contact with COVID. They all had to go through testing. No positive test came through. So their defense is starting, which is, I guess, good news for them. Not so great news for you Kansas City Chief fantasy managers, because that would have been unbelievable playing the Chiefs, one of the best offenses against a depleted secondary. So there's still lots of confidence, but don't forget that the Oakland Raiders handed the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss in Week 5. So a little bit of a revenge game there. As we talk, Joe Mixon is out. Actually on IR, he will be out for the next 3 weeks. So the first week you can play him is Week 14, which for most of you is the first week of your fantasy football playoffs. Kenny Golladay is not playing today. Neither is DeAndre Swift. Christian McCaffrey, David Johnson, Zach Ertz, Drew Brees, and we all thought, hey, Jameis Winston is going to be the starter. Actually, newsflash, it's Taysom Hill. And for some platforms out there, you can actually put Taysom Hill in the tight end position. I don't know if that's been resurrected, but that's the world we're living. I don't know what platform that is. Maybe it's NFL. It's not Sleeper. It's not Yahoo, but I have seen that you can throw him in the tight end slot. And then Sammy Watkins, Laviska Shenault will also be out for today.
Yeah. First, Mac, I want to talk to you about your a little heat check here on Taysom Hill. Are you starting Taysom Hill, or is he a top 24 quarterback for you? Do you start him over guys like Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Matt Stafford with the banged up hand? What do you do with Taysom Hill this week?
If I play in a league or on a platform where I can start him as a tight end, sure. Given how bad the tight end position's been, but I mean, I haven't really seen Taysom Hill throw a football other than a couple trick plays, and he really has no substantial resume for us as a passer. We know he's an athletic freak. We know that he can run the football, but will he be used in that aggressive nature and that creative nature as the starting quarterback? I don't think so. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like right now for Taysom Hill.
I personally wouldn't be surprised. I am believing the narrative that Taysom Hill goes in for the first snaps of the game, and then Jameis comes in when you're looking at passing downs. It's going to be kind of a duo there in New Orleans. So I'm potentially looking at to start the Atlanta defense, potentially. I'm looking at that you cannot start either quarterback. I'm not projecting Taysom Hill to play this entire game. That's the narrative that I'm believing in.
Street. All right, in this week, a little bit of confidence for your rosters. Devontae Adams, Alvin Kamara, Calvin Ridley, Taysom Hill, as we just mentioned. Alan Lazard coming back from core muscle surgery, expected to make his debut today for the Green Bay Packers. Andy Dalton and Clyde Edwards-Helaire all cleared to play. We don't have to go through the quarterback experiment in Dallas. It might be a nice boost for your Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup shares. So that'll be nice. Maybe Dalton Schultz too. Landon, you're a big Dalton Schultz believer.
I am a big Dalton Schultz believer. I'm excited. Hopefully it's a bit of a shootout. The Vikings defense is looking a lot better as of late. They've won a few games in a row, but I still think it could be a bit of a shootout. Andy Dalton could be better, and it could be better for your fantasy options, although risky in Dallas.
All right. We're going to jump into your questions. We will get to every single question here in the chat. No need to post twice. We will go through in chronological order. We don't ask for much around here at the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. All we ask for is a little bit of love from you guys. A like goes a long way. So if you haven't liked this video, but you're here maybe for the first time, like goes a long way. If you like the advice that you get, a subscription is helpful as well. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Believe it or not, we started this fantasy football season at just over 100. So you guys have been amazing. Absolutely amazing, and we appreciate it so much. We don't ask for money from you guys. We just ask for your engagement. So here we go, Lando.
And this is guys and gals coming in here, Mackie. We got the whole
gambit. I love
the whole
it.
gambit.
Speaking of gambit, have you watched the Queen's Gambit on Netflix?
I have not. I've heard it's good though.
All right, Easy. I cannot read Easy's comment because of the pin. Can you see that one, Lando? Can you read that one for me?
Good morning, gents. RB only starts at full PPR. He's got Rojo, Darrell Henderson, Antonio Gibson, Adrian Peterson, and Salvin Ahmed.
Is it start 1 or 2?
So pick 2.
Okay.
Full PPR.
I think you got to go back to the Rojo given that last week we saw an early turnover from him, a fumble, and Bruce Arians continued to put him on the field. And given the sample size, and a fairly decent sample size, we would expect it in that situation for Rojo to be relegated to the bench, Leonard Fournette come up and get work. And on the next drive, we did see that happen. Rojo wasn't on the field, but I don't know if Bruce Arians is now kind of thinking like, all right, clearly Rojo's our best back. And yes, he needs to be maybe in his eyes penalized for some of the mistakes that he's making still. Fumbling football is an issue of his, but he's the superior back to Leonard Fournette. So maybe there's a changing of the tide mentally for Bruce Arians where he's saying, I'm willing to give a longer leash to a guy like Ronald Jones. After seeing that and him have a monstrous day, I'm willing to go back to the well. I think that he's got a little bit more forgiveness. I think Antonio Gibson is my second play here over a guy like Darrell Henderson just because of the matchup. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are ferocious against opposing running backs.
Yeah, I'm going Rojo and I'm going Gibson as well. I think there's going to be a bit of a committee approach in LA with getting Cam Akers more involved, and we've seen Malcolm Brown get red zone looks. So Darrell Henderson, although he has a safe floor and for other matchups, Easy has a ton of good options. Salvin, I believe, is still a decent option. He's a top 20 option, but with your other running back choices, this is why I would go Rojo and Gibson. And Gibson is still splitting work with McKissick. It could be a frustrating week, but you got to go with what we've seen recently. He's getting the goal line work. He's getting first and second down look. Just McKissick is involved, especially when they're trying to come back. But yeah, you got to go Rojo and
in a
Gibson.
PPR format, J.D. McKissick is a pretty safe play. He does get some good volume through the air. And Easy, shout out to you. Thank you so much for pumping us up. He says, let's get these guys to 650 subs. Hell, let's go crazy and get them to 700. We appreciate you. Easy's been with us since the beginning, one of our first loyal listeners. So we appreciate you. 700 would be unbelievable. And that 1,000 goal still stands. Steven Drakes, welcome into the stream. Need 2 and a flex in a full PPR. So basically, who are you sitting between Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, Kalen Ballage, and Cooper Kupp?
So My initial thought is just to start your running backs, Steven. Hunt and Robinson provide such a safe floor. Cup presents the most upside, in my opinion, especially in a full PPR, but they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's not a great matchup. I do think Cup has a ton of upside, but we've seen him disappear. And if the Rams don't score touchdowns, your floor is super low. So I'm going to go Hunt and James Robinson there, my man.
And Balaj over Cup. Got to pick 3, 2 and a flex.
Oh, 2 and a flex, so I'm going to go Cup over Balaj.
That's exactly where I would be too. Tempting to go all 3 running backs for sure. But yeah, I believe that Hunt, Robinson, Cup in a full PPR is certainly the play, just given Hunt's role in the offense as a complement to Chub, the third down back, change of pace back, James Robinson being the everything back for them, 3-downer. And then, Cooper Kupp. Yes, I know that Tampa Bay gives up the 6th fewest fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. However, Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are staples in that offense for Jared Goff. And if they're unable to run the football with their trio, they will be highly, highly used. So in a full PPR, I'd definitely be going Cooper Kupp.
Right on. So Tyler coming in hot. This is a guy we've been talking to on Instagram a ton. Thanks, Tyler, for coming by. We appreciate you. He's got A.J. Brown, Robbie Anderson, Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp. Pick two.
Ooh-wee.
Boy, oh boy, that's tough. So you got to start 100%. A.J. Brown week in and week out. He has his down weeks, but everyone has his down weeks. Very few players have the upside that A.J. Brown has. So between Robbie Anderson, Deontay, and Cooper Kupp, man. So let me just see where I have these ranked. If you want to talk it through,
I believe that Deontay Johnson is the play here as the secondary choice.
Yeah.
Attempting to go Cooper Kupp for sure. Just given Deontay Johnson, the number of weapons that the Pittsburgh Steelers has, that's going to lead to more opportunities in the red zone. And we've seen Deontay Johnson be quite valuable if he's able to catch a touchdown along with the volume that he gets. So I think this could be potentially a down week for Robbie Anderson. It could be a tough game for the Carolina Panthers. Factored in that the game time decision for Teddy Bridgewater still looms. So if Teddy Bridgewater is out, there might be a significant decrease to Robbie Anderson's projection. So I'm going to go for safety and for upside, A.J. Brown and Deontay Johnson. DJ just a little bit higher than Cooper Kupp.
I agree. He's got Noah Fant starting at tight end. I would still stick with Noah Fant, even though the matchup for Ebron looks great, especially if you're going to start Deontay Johnson. It's an easy one to go to Noah Fant and hope for the upside with Fant coming off a little banged up, but he's still a great athlete. And tight end is all about touchdowns, man. Like it's
and factoring in that Drew Lock is also a little bit banged up. You might want to pivot off and go Ebron. If that's the case, maybe you go Cooper Kupp instead of Deontay Johnson, less exposure to that Pittsburgh game. Or if you think it's going to be a boom game, you double up and you double down on Big Ben. But I'd be going A.J. Brown, Deontay Johnson, and Noah Fant.
Yeah, the worst case scenario for Tyler is if it's a James Conner game.
It has not been that
possible.
No,
it hasn't.
Yeah,
but it's possible.
J.D. McKissick, Amari Cooper, Duke Johnson, Jacoby Myers. I need one running back and one flex in a full PPR from the Elite Cookie.
Elite Cookie, I would go with J.D. McKissick over Duke Johnson? Question mark? I don't know, man. And then I would still go with Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, Jacoby Myers over the last 3 weeks has been averaging 19 fantasy points per game. He is hot, and I don't blame you if you want to stay there. Andy Dalton coming back certainly gives a boost to Amari Cooper owners. I would be going I'd be going pretty opposite of you, Landon. I'd be going Duke Johnson and Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, and I don't blame you there. I just checked my rankings, and I do have Duke Johnson ahead, but for some reason, I just have a good feeling about McKissick. Duke Johnson let me down last week. Maybe it's recency bias, but I don't blame you if you want to follow Mac there, Elite.
Yeah, it's
in a full PPR, so Duke could be involved. Both running backs are involved with the passing game.
Yeah, we talked about Houston's challenges on the defensive side against wide receivers. but also against running backs. They're giving up the second most to fantasy running backs, and you gotta figure Cam Newton, who scored a rushing touchdown in every game except for 2 this year, is gonna call his number again at the goal line. And Jacoby Myers, they've been using him very, very creatively. I mean, downfield, throwing the ball, end arounds. He's basically a gadget man, like a Taysom Hill for the New England Patriots right now. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Jacoby Myers have another good day against this Houston defense that is pretty susceptible to big plays.
Yeah, I want to welcome everyone coming in. We get to every single question we have answered, so we're still at the top, so make sure you stick in and we get every single question answered. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. We are on our road to 1,000. We will get to your question and go into some analysis on why you should start. It matters if it's a half PPR, full PPR. It matters if you're behind in the matchup or if you're projected ahead. If there's a safe floor and there's an upside, it does make a difference. So thanks. We got 26, 25 people watching. Make sure to like the video, guys. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely, we appreciate it so much. Don't ask a lot of you guys. Just a little bit of engagement goes a long way. Aurelio says, tough week with the Bills on bye. I know a lot of you have been relying on Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, maybe even John Brown. This week, your team's on bye: the Buffalo Bills, the Chicago Bears, New York Giants, and San Francisco 49ers. For you Ayuk owners out there, was just placed on the COVID IR. So we'll see what that looks.
He's likely. It's like I think it's more of a close contact. I don't believe he's tested positive, but he is just he'll likely be back next
And
week.
even given the 2-week turnaround time from when it was reported, there's a good chance that he does play next week, even if it was positive at worst case. Okay.
Yeah. So Tommy, or I guess we'll go to Aurelio here. He's got Chark or Henderson at the flex. Also have Corey Davis.
DJ.
So I mean, Chark's our guy right now. He's the biggest question mark this week. He disappointed last week with Jake Luton, but he had a big week the following. Now they were still taking shots downfield.
That's the important part here, Landon.
What's your confidence level with DJ Chark versus a Pittsburgh defense that is fairly stout?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers are fairly great defensively. The cornerback matchup that I expect DJ Chark to draw will be Minkah Fitzpatrick. And funny enough, Minkah Fitzpatrick, being one of the best corners in the league, has given up 3. He's beaten 3 times downfield, 4 touchdown scores. I can't remember the yardage, but it's chunk plays. And so when you look at Jake Luton, who throws a pretty good deep ball, they have continued to take shots with DJ Chark downfield, regardless of if they hook up or not. So that big playability, that week, I wouldn't say week winning, but a week's worth of points in one play still exists for DJ Chark. So I think that he is the X receiver for this team. He's what they need in order to stay in this ball game. And if things go south quickly, which we expect they probably should, DJ Chark will be used in a more aggressive role. So I'm taking a shot on DJ Chark this week that maybe we see a couple big chunk plays pan out, and I would be doing so over a guy like Darrell Henderson, who has a bad matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks, who also has to share the backfield with Malcolm Brown and Cam Akers. So DJ Chark it is.
Totally. Love it. We've got 29 people watching right now. We will get to your question. I promise you. Make sure to like this video. It goes a long way for this YouTube algorithm. But Tommy Sasso coming in with Robert Woods or Michael Pittman at wide receiver 2. He's got Tua or Alex Smith at quarterback. Both are interesting questions, Matt.
I'm going Bobby Trees at wide receiver 2 and Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I mean, we're a big fan of Robert Woods. I know he's disappointed last week, and you want to stay with the hot hand, the waiver ad with Michael Pittman. But Robert Woods has a mix of floor and upside where, you know what, I still want to see it for a couple weeks of Michael Pittman Jr. to make sure he is the real deal. He still has a ton of upside, but I still think Bobby Woods, as Max says, matches his upside. Between Tua or Alex Smith, yeah, man, it's It's probably close, but it's gonna stay with a rookie and Tua
Well, and
Tagovailoa.
the Indianapolis Colts, if we think about them offensively, what do they like to do or like to try to do? Run the football. And the Green Bay Packers can stop almost no one on the ground. It's really unfortunate, but it's the way that defense runs. I expect a full workload for Jonathan Taylor, Naeem Hines, and maybe even a little Jordan Wilkins. They're going to try to pound the rock and beat the Green Bay Packers on the ground. That's not to say that Michael Pittman won't be used, but I think the ceiling is higher this week for Robert Woods, so that's why I'm going there. Tua, it's so funny. You watch Tua play and you go, wow, some pretty polished throws, some power behind that ball. He looks good. And then you look at his box score and you're like, oh, 165 and 2. It's not special.
Yeah.
It's not great for fantasy. He passes the eye test, and I wonder if the big game is coming for him because he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's fairly athletic, and so far he's passed my eye test.
Totally. And every week he gets more and more comfortable. He will start to push the ball downfield. Devontae Parker doesn't feel like a great start right now, but I do believe eventually he will. And it's going to be on the back of a franchise quarterback with Tua.
JV Newton or Derek Carr? Thank you. JV, thank you for the question. I'm going Cam Newton, who is my quarterback start of the week for Week 11. In case you guys missed the podcast, you can find us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you can get a podcast. The Snap Fantasy Football Podcast we release Thursday and Saturday. And I'm going Cam Newton start of the week.
The best thing, New England just played Baltimore, a very stout defense. And the best thing, and now they have to get to play the Houston Texans. It's going to feel so easy for that team to move the football and for Cam to push the ball downfield and target Jacoby Myers. I agree. Go with Cam.
And like I just said earlier, he scored a rushing touchdown in all but 2 games this year. Cam Newton will continue to do so against a Houston defense that gives up the second most points to runners. JV, thanks for the question. Good luck this week. Bobo, what's up, my man? My boy. No
Corey, what is
no
good?
NASCAR for Bob to watch today, but he'll most likely be playing some Xbox probably. New Call of Duty. Man, you play, Lando? You play Call of Duty?
No, man, I'm not. I don't play. I played some Zelda last night. That's about it.
You whip out the N64 for that one?
No. The new Switch. There's a new Warriors of Hyrule out.
Man.
I bought that last night and started to play it.
You're crazy.
It's all right.
Man,
all right.
I got the new Call of Duty, the Cold War, for the Xbox One. Fired it up, bought it at like 4:30, put it in the machine by like 4:45, and there was like a 40 gig download for the game, right? So from disc to console, whatever. Throw it in there. It downloads in like 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. Then there's a 60 gigabyte update for me to do. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, I got to wait like another hour. My download speed is like 250 megabytes per second. Downloading from the Call of Duty server, I'm getting like 4 megabytes per second. It took me 12 hours to download this update. The update was bigger than the game itself, and it took me so long. I was so frustrated, man, so aggravated. All I wanted to do is just, on my one night of the week where I'm not really doing much and I want to just pop the game in and shred. Night lost.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
If you guys know the struggle that I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below if you're a Call of Duty player or if you hate their servers. Danny S., welcome into the stream. Choose 2 from Antonio Brown, Hollywood Brown, Jerry Jeudy, Naeem Hines, Kalen Ballage. What a list.
What a list is right. This is really tough, Mac.
Can I eliminate a name? Hollywood Brown.
Eliminate Hollywood Brown.
For me. He's not out for the game, but he's out for me. He's out of consideration.
Yeah. So, I do like Antonio Brown, even though it's a tough matchup. But I mean, the Rams can't cover everyone. They've got Godwin and Mike Evans to deal with. I think it could be a sneaky game for AB. But I do have Jerry Jeudy higher in my ranking. So out of the wide receivers here, I would pick Jeudy as my highest.
Okay.
Even though Drew Lock is questionable, I still would pick Judy as my highest. But Antonio Brown, I believe, has the safest floor.
Okay.
Between Hines and Balaj, Mac, what way do you lean?
It's so unpredictable to think what could come out of Frank Reich. Could this be in a great matchup the day that Jonathan Taylor finally gets the workload that we think he deserves? Will he be the feature back? I kind of think no. I do think he might have a good fantasy day. He's still the running back 21 on the year, which, it's not what we expected, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is running back 14, and we drafted him in the first round. So in terms of expectations, Jonathan Taylor hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been the option that you've needed. I think Naeem Hines is still involved. Is he more involved than Kalen Balaj? Probably. I just think the Colts will be able to do more on the ground. I think I'm going to go Naeem Hines over, and I do believe in Jerry Jeudy as the highest ceiling here for the wide receiver position. So I'm going Jeudy and I'm going Hines. We haven't seen AB get into the end zone yet, but the volume's been decent given the other two, options in the offense.
Yeah, we got word today on Twitter that Naeem Hines should get the bulk of the carries. I'll be watching that game closely. As a Jonathan Taylor owner, I'm just shaking my head. I'm not really sure what to do with it. Yeah, I tend to agree with your sentiment. I do think Balaj has a safer floor than Naeem Hines.
Right.
So great question, Danny. That's a tough one, but yeah, there we go.
Can you grab
Corey.
the next one for me here, Lando? My chat is frozen.
Zeke or Gio Bernard, full PPR makes me sick to even think about sitting Zeke. I feel you, man. It's a tough one. I had this question in our listener league on what I would do. Technically, I do have Zeke ahead in the rankings. We were talking to Mac on our podcast, which we released on Saturday, about kind of perception of a guy like Zeke and Clyde Edwards-Helaire after their bye week and the mess we're getting out at the running back position, starting guys like Kalen Balaj, Duke Johnson, Salvin Ahmed, like Carlos Hyde is startable, J.D. McKissick. Having taken a look and being like, well, I've got Zeke Elliott on my bench that I had to sit last week. I want to get him back in that lineup because he hasn't disappointed me recently. We're a society of what have you done for me recently, and he hasn't busted for you yet. So, or not for a couple of weeks. So
I'm going Zeke here.
Yeah, I'm going Zeke. Zeke.
This is a game that's going to feature Joe Burrow and Chase Young, two of the top picks picks 1 and 2 in the NFL draft last year. This Washington defense is decent. They're underrated, and as much as Gio is going to be used, I still give the edge to Zeke. He's still the better talent. He's not dropped this far in terms of our rankings. I'm going Zeke.
Sounds good. Scotty's thrown shade that I traded Antonio Gibson for Mixon, and I hate my life, Scott. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, that's why you're in the glass case of emotion here with Joe Mixon. Let's double time this, Lando. We got a ton of questions here to get through, and we don't want to give you the one-word answers, but we do want to get to everybody today. So love the questions, love the engagement, guys. So we're gonna double time it here. Anto, who should I drop? Marquise Brown, Fulgham, Fournette, or Myers? I need a tight end for this week. Oh man,
that's super super tough, man. That's super tough. I assume you're past your trade deadline, so you can't look to like combo trade a couple of those guys. Yeah. And plus, it's probably too late anyways. Mac, are you gonna drop Marquise Brown out of this list?
No, I'm gonna drop Travis Fulgham.
Okay.
Given that, so hear me out. Given that Zach Ertz is going to come back to the lineup, Alshon Jeffrey is making his reappearance eventually. Deshaun Jackson's looking to come back soon. Dallas Goedert's featured. There's too many people there. Travis Fulgham, we saw a little fantasy relevance in the absence of all these pass catchers, but what happens when they come back onto the field? Travis Fulgham's not going to be used out of necessity. It will be, when he runs a good route and gets open. So I am going to drop Travis Fulgham. I want to drop Marquise Brown because he's been the least productive for you, but he's still the wide receiver 1 for the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to drop Fulgham, who I project to find himself into a crowded wide receiving core pretty soon.
Willie Snead would say otherwise, Mac. But let's continue here. We've got Bobby. Should I start Lazard? And I'm going to say no. I would not start Adam Lazard this week. Alan Lazard, sorry.
Yeah, that is your Adam Thielen, Alan Lazard combo, which would be really awkward to look at. I'm going to say sit Lazard down. We've seen how good MVS can be when given the opportunity to go downfield. That's what Alan Lazard is for Aaron Rodgers. But given this is his first week back, I'm going to say no. Sit him down.
Start 3 out of 4. We've got Giovanni Bernard, Will Fuller, A.J. Brown, or Deontay Johnson. So the New England Patriots typically like to take away the best option for the opposing offense, and that would be Will Fuller.
Right.
So with that being said, are you starting Gio, A.J. Brown, and Deontay out of that list, Mac?
They like to try to take away the best option, but sometimes that doesn't work. I think Deshaun Watson is the one that they need to take care of in this game, a guy that can single-handedly change the momentum of football game. So I think that there is going to be room for Will Fuller to work. I'm not sure Duke Johnson will be able to run the ball exclusively on the ground or pound the rock himself. They're going to have to resort to the air at some point. Will Fuller is the tried and true trusted wide receiver for Deshaun Watson. So I'm going to go Fuller, Brown, DJ. Bernard's going down.
Bernard sitting down. I would start Bernard for the floor play, depending on if you are favored or in behind in the matchup. So
thanks to Easy for clearing that up, that the ESPN Fantasy app is the platform where you can start Taysom Hill as a tight end. So that is a cheat code. That's a cheat code. Yeah. Putting a quarterback in your tight end slot, you got to do it. If I play on that, I'd be trying to get that done right now.
Yeah, if you guys are watching, we are going to get to your question. Make sure to get your question at drop below, and we will get to it. We got 28 people watching, only 23 likes, Max. So make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel. We'll make sure to get your question answered.
100%.
And this has been awesome, guys. Thanks for all the questions.
Okay, Tony, PPR flex, need to Chark, AB, Judy, or Landry. Also, do I drop one of these to pick up Gaskin for running back depth? Man, depends who your other running backs are. This is a nice little list of wide receivers to play with. I would be going Chark and Judy out of this list. I see their ceilings as the highest. If you want to be a little bit safer, like maybe you're projected to win your matchup, maybe you go with Landry and Judy and you stay away from Chark. But I'm going Chark, Judy. I'm going for the home run there. Would you drop any of them? I guess as the second question, if you want to give your answer and then pop into the keeping or cutting.
I don't think I would drop any of them. Gaskin is great. I would see maybe Tony, if you have 2 defenses that you're streaming, I would drop one of those. I'm not thrilled about dropping any of those wide receivers. If your trade deadline has not passed, I would look to combo some of those, especially if Chark has a big game this week.
Why not just trade Antonio Brown? Trade a little name value.
If you can, yeah.
Trade a little hype.
Totally.
It's crazy.
Totally.
We've talked to a lot of people this week saying, when's your trade deadline? Or still getting trade questions, and people are saying, well, I don't have a trade deadline, or it's week 14 or week 13. That's crazy to me. But if you still live in that realm where you've got no trade deadline, then I would try to trade Antonio Brown and make some room for Myles Gaskin.
Breaking news, Mac. PJ Walker is starting at quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is inactive.
Ooh, baby. Okay. Teddy Bridgewater, that's why we had him in the questionable category. This is a downgrade for me for guys like Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel. It's a boost to Mike Davis.
Absolutely.
100%. Wow. All right, Josh Smith. Hey, guys, thanks for all the CMC and Carson info. You are welcome. No problem.
Got you.
He also says, Jonnu or Hooper. I have a hard time trusting Jonnu, and this win will clinch a $600 for best record. Oh, baby. That's
I
decent.
love that.
Can I get into this
I
league?
love that.
Damn,
I
Josh. All
love
right.
that.
I'd be going Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
That's my play. And I love myself some Jonnu Smith. It just hasn't been there lately for him. So I'm going Hooper.
Very, very touchdown dependent, where Hooper will be used all over the field and still has good touchdown upside. Yeah, totally. I would go Hooper for the floor and ceiling as well.
Hell yeah. Griffin, pick 2. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Aaron Jones, or James Robinson in a standard league, projected to win by 0.7 points.
I love all the details, my man.
Yes.
Thank you for telling us everything.
Man, I mean, Aaron Jones has the toughest matchup of this group. I'm not willing to sit him down because of that, because Aaron Jones is special. He's a top 5 running back when healthy, and he is healthy now. So I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and I'm going Aaron Jones. Is that crazy?
Yeah, I would go Aaron Jones and James Robinson, even in both tough matchups.
Okay. I think this is the week that Clyde Edwards-Helaire has the big game, the I'm the guy. Like I mentioned on the Saturday podcast, and I'll make a case just for Clyde Edwards here, the Kansas City Chiefs had a week off to figure things out, and usually, you'd look to the Oakland Raiders. They know the Oakland Raiders. They're a divisional opponent. They've played them already in week 5. I think they took the week to really figure out who are the personnel that we need to use moving forward, in the absence of Sammy Watkins. Demarcus Robinson getting more work. Will that continue with Sammy potentially still? I guess he is still out. So who fills the Sammy Watkins role? Who is the running back we need to feature? I mean, Le'Veon Bell, 16 carries over 3 weeks for 54 yards. It's not a great resume. I do think Clyde starts to get more work. So I'm kind of buying into that narrative I've painted for myself. But James Robinson is a tough guy to sit down. So I don't blame you if you go Aaron Jones and James Robinson. Easy.
Love that.
Easy 2 questions for follow-up. Scotty can research off camera if you'd like. Producer Scott in the background. Where are the Rams ranked for run defense? 2, any news about the status of Matt Breida? I don't see him on the list. I'm not looking to play Matt Breida. That's why he's not on this list. Regardless if he's in, out, or questionable, Matt Breida is not a play for me. And I can tell you right now, for the Rams in terms of run defense, I can tell you against fantasy running backs, easy. The Rams give up the 5th fewest points to opposing fantasy running backs at just about 15 points per game. So they are quite stout against fantasy running backs.
Yeah, I'll wait to see it from Breida. We're not super thrilled about starting Ahmed, so that's potentially why.
I am in a couple spots just because I have to.
Necessity, man.
Bye weeks and injuries and all that crap, but I'm not thrilled about it.
Yeah.
Captain Flowers, I guess.
All in for CMC. Yeah, I don't know where we are at this time.
Okay, I got it. Captain Flowers, hey guys, can you pick 2 wide receivers in a flex? Calvin Ridley, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Miles Sanders, and Salvon Ahmed. Oh my goodness gracious.
Dang, Ridley and Deontay for me. And then Justin Jefferson or Miles Sanders for the flex.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is an auto flex. Going to be big work this week for him. I kind of agree with you. I'm willing to start Calvin Ridley in his return, and Deontay Johnson slightly ahead of Cooper Kupp. If you need the big game, you go Justin Jefferson, who has the highest ceiling.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson. I have him playing in some matchups on DraftKings. It's he's incredible. It's just you're hoping that it's not a Dalvin Cook game,
right? And
it's possible, right? We saw the game, like that was the best case scenario last week if you were playing against Dalvin Cook, right? But who knows what happens this week? It could be just a run and gun day for Dalvin. So
100%. Kendall Lefevre, what's up, guys? What's up, Kendall? Need some help, please. Need to Devontae Booker versus Kansas City, Jamal Williams versus Indy, Jarvis Landry against Philly, Alan Lazard against the Colts, Gallup versus Minnie. Right now I have Gallup and Booker in. Thank you. I'm going Jamal Williams.
Yep, that's a good one.
I'm going Jamal Williams there. I'm not sure if this is two flex spots, so I'm going to give you two answers. Jamal Williams, if you have to start a running back, and if not, I'd be going Landry and Gallup.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Booker has seen some work recently. Again, Booker and Jamal Williams are both number 2 running backs for their teams. We've seen Jamal Williams get more consistent work more often.
Yeah, he's been featured.
Yeah. So Booker's just coming in to supplant Josh Jacobs occasionally, and if you get lucky with that, it's a red zone target, or he takes one in from the 25-yard line. That's kind of what you're going for.
And it's still apparent. I mean, at least in last game, Jamal Williams was used more than I would have thought. I still kind of think they're easing Aaron Jones back in, and whether that continues or not is yet to be seen. But Jamal Williams has been a good change of pace back for the Green Bay Packers. So I still value him over Booker. I think the Packers roll in this one, even though the defensive matchup is quite tough.
Yeah. And for Hunter, he's asking to start Big Ben or Aaron Rodgers. And it's close, but I do have Big Ben because it's a better matchup starting. So
we talked about rest of season guys on our Thursday show, players that we like down the stretch. We gave you a top 5 at each position, and Big Ben was in the top 5 for me as a fantasy quarterback that could be very, very productive for you down the stretch. Aaron Rodgers was in that as well. But this week I would agree with Landon, even though I am a Green Bay, I can't even find it, Green Bay supporter there. I would go Big Ben. Just the weapons that they have, the matchup they have, it's just almost all too good.
We got 36 people watching right now. We will get to every single question. It is a grind this week. We love all the support we're getting. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to us. We are getting to 1,000 subscribers. That's our goal, guys. We should get there by Super Bowl. So
hopefully
we're into it. We love it, guys.
Yeah. Jamal Jones need to start 3 in a full PPR. Deontay Johnson, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper, DJ Chark, and Michael Pittman. Damn, boy, what a list.
Deontay
is a check.
Is a check for sure. Oh, man. I don't hate Cooper this week. We saw Andy Dalton target him quite often, but it's a high-risk play because the Vikings defense have looked a lot better. DJ Chark is always a high-risk play, but I do have him ranked ahead of Amari Cooper this week. And as for your other option, I just lost it. Michael Pittman. I love Michael Pittman and his talent, but I cannot start him over T. Higgins, who has shown it all year long.
I'm going Deontay Johnson. I'm going my wide receiver start of the week of T. Higgins, who the matchup's not great, but he's on fire, and he's the X receiver for Joe Burrow, and I'm going DJ Chark. I'm getting a little risky this week at wide receiver, but I think that's what you need in order to win. So DJ, T. Higgins, DJ Chark, book it.
Love it. Bang. We got Balaj this week. We got Mr. Hernandez in the chat talking about Kalen Balaj, and I think Kalen Balaj has a very good matchup against the Jets. I think he presents a very safe floor to you. I think if you start him, you got to close your eyes and just start him. It's going to be he's shown that he's been solid. So you can start Kalen Balaj as a top 15 running back option this week.
Yeah, and matchup isn't everything. The New York Jets giving up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing running backs at just over 20 points a game. Matchup isn't everything. It's a good matchup, but Kalen Balaj has been the consistent workhorse over the last couple weeks in the absence of Justin Jackson, in the absence of Austin Eckler, and I do believe that continues. So I'm going to say that Kalen Balaj has himself a decent week, and kind of bringing up the New York Jets, which we're not going to get a lot. I think a nice fringe play, maybe a flex play in a deeper league, is Denzel Mims this week. I project them to be down in this matchup. I'm going to project that they need to throw. And Denzel Mims has been the recipient of a bulk of targets the last few weeks since he was activated in Week 7. So I like Denzel Mims this week in a game where I think they're going to have to throw the ball.
All right. Dauntless coming in here. I haven't seen your name before, so thanks for coming by. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. He's in a half PPR. He's really debating if I should sit Michael Thomas for Cooper, AB, or Myers. Any thoughts? Hey, you know what? If you need to sit Michael Thomas, I totally get it. He has not shown that he's going to be a reliable wide receiver this week. Yet I still have Michael Thomas as a fringe wide receiver one. That's a great matchup. Like I said, I do think that Jameis Winston gets in and gets work on the field. If it is Taysom Hill all game, it's going to be rough for Michael Thomas. So that is the risk factor involved. If you believe what you say, man, I would sit MT.
Oh, man. And crazy enough, I think if you do sit him, the fill-in is Jacoby Myers, who, again, has been on fire. 19 fantasy points per game over the last 3. Really used heavily in this offense as guy getting handoffs out of the backfield, as a receiver downfield, as a guy even throwing the football. Is it an instance here of getting too cute? Potentially. I still do think that MT warrants a start, but I understand the hesitancy. So Dauntless, I think you got to hang tough with MT here and hope that Jameis Winston just gets some work and locks into Michael Thomas. But he's the best player on the field outside of Kamara for the Saints. Hopefully he's relied upon, but I wouldn't blame you for sitting down MT for a guy like Jacoby Myers, which feels so gross to say, but this is what happens, man. Week 11.
And I hate to say it too and make it more confusing, but I think the safest floor out of these guys that has the best throwing quarterback, and that's Antonio Brown. So if for safety wise and for attempts and targets, I do think that AB presents the safest floor. Because
I would disagree with that. I would say that Jacoby Myers is the safest floor.
I know that he's had a ridiculously high target share, like 30% or something.
Who else
in
are
New
they
England.
going to throw the football to?
They don't throw the football, so that's the issue. Is that what I'm concerned with? Is that they just run the ball and run the ball, and it's not going to be enough attempts. Now he needs to get pretty much, like I said, like 50% of the targets to make it worthwhile, but it's possible. It's game script dependent.
Oh, it's not game script dependent for a Bucs offense that wants to run the football, but they also have to distribute it between Gronk, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin outside of Antonio Brown. You're looking for more efficiency out of Antonio Brown than you are volume out of Jacoby Myers.
See, I think the targets are going to be similar between Myers and AB.
Ooh, I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Okay. Interesting. Griffin, Deontay Johnson, Antonio Gibson, Aaron Jones, Juju need to for a flex in a full PPR. Wow.
Aaron Jones for sure. And then between
Antonio Gibson and Deontay, I think I'm going both running backs there. Aaron Jones, Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
You with me on that?
I'd be with you on that.
Okay. Perfect. Lewis, AB, Salvin Ahmed, or J.D. McKissick flex for my wide receivers, Jacoby Myers and Michael Thomas.
Right.
I don't know if you're saying that you're starting both of those or if you need us to pick. I'd be playing J.D. McKissick out of the group.
I don't mind that.
Are you playing AB over McKissick?
No, I would still play J.D. McKissick.
Okay.
For the floor and potential ceiling.
Okay. First defensive question. Thanks, Josh. Rams or Indy D? Rams.
Yeah, I like the Rams too.
As good of a defense as the Colts are, the Packers are just one of those offenses, man, that can light you up.
Yeah. I mean, both. Tom Brady could take sacks, absolutely, and both are good. But yeah, stick with the Rams. Rams D. They get after that quarterback.
Hell yeah. My chat just jumped here. Let me get
looking
back.
to pick up Hines in a standard league. My options to drop are DeAndre Swift and Alan Lazard. Is Hines worth picking up over those two? You got to keep DeAndre Swift. I would drop it then if you need Hines this week.
Yeah, you cannot drop DeAndre Swift. No, sir. Daryl Foster,
No.
should I drop Jamal Williams or Mike Davis for Burita? Neither. Do not pick up Matt Breida.
No, I would just keep who you got there,
Yep.
Daryl.
100%. The dude, Robbie Anderson, Robert Woods, or A.J. Brown. It's A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown for the floor and ceiling, my friend, especially with the quarterback news we got in Carolina. I think Robert Woods is a great option as well.
Yep. Teddy Bridgewater is inactive today.
Yes.
Derek Leacott, morning boys. Do we like Gio Bernard or Damian Harris this week? Need the highest floor. And Sony Michel coming back makes Harris feel like a trap. I think
Sony Michel is inactive today.
Right. That was going to be my first point. And secondly, I think Damian Harris is what they wanted Sony Michel to be for them.
Yeah.
I do have some confidence that Damian Harris can continue his work with how much that Cam calls his own number at the goal line. I think that there is a little bit of red zone downside, if you want to call that. Like, he's not going to be called at the goal line, but between the 20s, he's been quite good. Part of me thinks it is sort of trappy, not because of Sony Michel, and yes, he's not playing, but because a lot of his projection came off of chunk yardage. So do you go with the uber-involved Gio Bernard, or do you go with the guy who has the capability to get to the edge and have a big chunk run?
Yeah, that's Damian Harris for me,
Okay.
and that's who I would definitely play.
Love it.
We saw Rex Burkhead get in the end zone. I don't think that's necessarily the rule that Burkhead or Cam are their red zone guys.
Right.
I think Damian will have a chance as well.
Okay.
But again, trusting a New England running back is risky, my man.
It's like, yep, Rex Burkhead, cool, 100-yard game. It happens more than you'd like it to.
Yeah.
Ross Bob, a.k.a. Bob Ross. Flex, Adrian, Peterson, or Naeem Hines. Geez, that's got to be close in the rankings if you want to vet that one, Landon. I'm going to say that Adrian Peterson's probably your play. So if you buy into the news that Naeem Hines could be the featured back, which we just saw about a half hour ago, does that give you enough of a boost for Naeem Hines, given how bad Green Bay is against the run?
I would start Naeem Hines. I think Adrian Peterson is going to be just fine and going to get the work. Kerryon Johnson will split a little bit with him. Carolina is some of the worst against the run as well. That's why it makes it a harder question. If in my bones, I feel like it's an Adrian Peterson game, and in my bones, I hope it's a Jonathan Taylor game, but I cannot confidently say that anymore. So
I had to second guess that one, but I think you talked me into Naeem Hines.
Yeah, go with Naeem.
There you go. Miguel, I have two questions. Which two do I start? Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson, or Keenan Allen? And then for the flex, Zeke or Balaj? Okay.
Start Zeke.
Start Zeke, absolutely. And which are you sitting between the wide receivers?
I'm not gonna say Keenan Allen. You got to ride that hot hand. He's been a target hog.
Here's a crazy stat about Keenan Allen: 65 straight targets without a drop.
Crazy.
Guys on fire, getting the work, sure-handed. Yeah, Keenan Allen is a must. I think you sit down Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it's tough to admit that, but I would sit down Justin Jefferson.
Calvin Ridley's been great when healthy as a guy.
Yeah, and if the health concerns concern you at all, then you just go Jefferson. It's easy for you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's got to be the higher risk play is Ridley, but he was at one point the wide receiver 1 this year.
Right. At the top of the hour here, it's about noon. I just wanted to say a brief shout out to our sponsor, Manscaped. They've been supporting the show. Christmas is coming up for everybody. So if you want to pick up something for a loved one, maybe somebody that could use some Manscaped products, whether you know that or not, it's kind of weird. But www.manscaped.com. Use the promo code SNAP20. You'll get 20% off plus free shipping. And as always, supporting this show is very easy for you. A like on this video, a subscription to the channel is awesome, as well as go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Really, really helps the channel out. We really don't want anything from you in terms of money. We just want your support. digitally. Thumbs up, subscription, or a rating and review on Apple Podcasts goes a long way. So we appreciate you guys. We're going to be going strong for another 45 minutes here. So let's double time it, Landon, and get through these questions. Logan, Will Fuller, DJ Moore, or A.J. Brown in the flex? That's an A.J. Brown for me.
That's an A.J. Brown as well, especially with the quarterback stuff going on.
The news of Teddy Bridgewater is inactive if you're just jumping into the stream. TS, Baltimore, Washington, or Bucks, DST this week. Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I'd probably just go Tampa Bay defense.
I love it. KFK Fantasy Football, welcome in, my brother. Myers, Cooks, or McKissick for the flex. My opponent has Cam, and it's a standard league.
So does that make a difference for you if your opponent has the quarterback of a wide receiver you're questioning? No. Yeah. I tend to agree with that. You're not really...
because if Cam has a down game, it's very possible that Myers has a down game. And if Cam has a good game, there's a chance that he, as a runner, outscores Myers. Yeah. So it's like... You don't want to make that decision based on what your opponent's doing. Put the best player on the field. I think the best player to this group is Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. McKissick is a guy that we've talked about and we like.
McKissick's probably the safest option.
Yeah, but Antonio Gibson is going to be involved. It's harder to predict if it's going to be the game script where Cincinnati scores a lot, McKissick's in for second and third down plays out of the backfield where Alex Smith is just checking down the ball. What I can say is Brandon Cooks presents a pretty good floor and ceiling based on his recent targets.
Logan feels my pain with the Xbox updates. He says he just shuts the Xbox off and it seems to go faster. I mean, I shut my Xbox off, went to bed, and woke up, which felt like that, and there we were. So it's embarrassing for Xbox, man. You got to figure that out. Thomas Anderson, Zeke, or Balaj. Man, this is like the third or fourth time we've gotten this question, and it still remains the same. You got to start Zeke.
Yeah. A buddy, Warren, just was texting me, and it's funny we just said that. It's a non-PPR league. He's got Brandon Cooks, Hollywood Brown, and J.D. McKissick. Start two. You got to go Brandon Cooks and J.D. McKissick. So War, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, that's
like Marquise Brown is borderline droppable if you need to.
I know.
Sam Hunter, Myers, AB, or Chark. But for me, it's between Chark and Myers. And I see them as similar options this week. I'd be going Chark.
Although my love for AB showed that was a specific question based on floor and ceiling. I'm sitting AB where I have him. So just to preface that, like I'm not super confident in Antonio Brown. Okay. So yeah, I agree with you, Mac. Chark is a guy I like. He's got a great ceiling. He's got a fairly low floor, but I mean, his talent is there.
Where are we? Justin Keelman, Hill or Wentz? I have Allen on a bye. I assume that is Taysom Hill. Man.
We have to say it now. We got to put our.
If you play on ESPN, or sorry, is it ESPN Fantasy Football? You can put Taysom Hill as a tight end. So if you can do that, do that. But I'd still be going Carson Wentz. The unknowns of Taysom Hill as a passer are there. We have no sample size of what he can do as a passer. So I'm going Wentz. As much as that hurts to say, given how poor he was last week. Carson Wentz still a top 10 fantasy quarterback on the year.
Yeah, you don't want to watch the game again because he just turns the ball over. He gets silly sacks. But then all of a sudden he gets out of one that you thought he was done, and he gets the ball out. And yeah, I think Wentz is the play. I just don't think it's going to be Taysom Hill the entire game. That's just my gut. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, Taysom Hill might be the start. Man. But
Edward Hannafin, what's up, guys? Full PPR, Josh Reynolds or Jerry Jeudy. Man, Josh Reynolds has been getting the ball. He's been involved, but I'm still going Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Who you texting, Lando? Your girlfriends?
Just my buddy. Tell him to come in the chat.
Michael, what's up, man?
Sorry.
I answered it for us. Full PPR, Josh Reynolds or Jerry Jeudy. Still.
Oh, yeah. Go Jerry Jeudy, my man.
Michael, what's up? Mike, good to see you back. Cam, Brady, or Matt Ryan? I'm still sticking Cam Newton. My start of the week at the quarterback position.
I would go Matt Ryan.
Derek Leacott, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, or Jamison Crowder at the flex, projected to lose, so you need the upside. Oh,
and that would be.
Is the upside still there for DJ Moore with no Teddy Bridgewater?
I don't. It's between Cooper and Crowder for me.
Okay. Tell me if I'm crazy, but
you're crazy.
Okay. Moving on. No, I just there's been several times this year where, I mean, even freeze frame. We posted on Twitter, Teddy Bridgewater has DJ Moore open for 6 downfield. DJ Moore has beaten his man off of coverage and separated himself, and Teddy's just looked him off. We're going into the unknowns with the quarterback, but are you going to hyper target the best receiver in the office? Potentially.
I tend to agree with that, and that's why Andy Dalton hyper targeted Amari Cooper when he was when he started for Dallas.
Okay. Look, with Teddy Bridgewater, and I would go DJ Moore here. Maybe I'm more willing to say Amari Cooper with Dalton back and Teddy Bridgewater out. So, yeah, I'll follow Landon on this one. He's got a good nose for this stuff sometimes, so I'll go Cooper.
Crowder, I believe, still has the safest floor with the amount of targets he gets, and the quarterback for the Jets is not Sam Darnold. It is Joe Flacco, and he can push the ball downfield against this Chargers. Their defense has not been good, but going talent-wise, I'm still going Amari Cooper. So,
Lobster, Cam Akers, or Jonathan Taylor this week. It's a 16-man league. You got to go Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, and I'm doing the same thing. I'll be in it with you, sweating that game. Lobster.
Oh man, I'm just really hoping that this is the week that Jonathan Taylor pops finally.
Man,
against the Green Bay Packers, who literally can't stop a soul on the ground. Man, please, Frank Reich, just give Jonathan Taylor the goddamn football.
I know.
Michael also picked 2 in a full PPR: Bernard, Chark, Higgins. I'm only gonna pick one of those Bengals because I don't want to pick 2. I'm gonna go Higgins over Bernard. Higgins and Chark are my picks.
All right, go Higgins and Chark. I want to welcome Warren into the chat. What is going on? Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Appreciate you, man.
Did we already get the one from Sam, or was that a different question? Myers, Chark, or AB?
Myers, Chark, or AB?
I think we already had this one, but Chark is the answer.
Yeah, I would go Chark as well. Just for the upside, we've talked about this at length. Jeremy, choose one full PPR: Crowder, Gio Bernard, Kalen Ballage, or Duke Johnson. That's a whole lot of waiver wire nonsense.
That's like if you went the air raid draft strategy, like wide receiver heavy in the first 5 rounds this year, you are loving these moments where you've got Bernard, Ballage, DJ, you all picked up on waivers. Just to choose one here,
I'm gonna go Gio Bernard.
I was just about to say it's probably between Bernard and Ballage. Yeah, Gio Bernard, I guess.
Gross. Plug your nose. Just it's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Versace Ari, pick 2: Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders, Nick Chubb in a full PPR. My goodness.
The complete opposite of the last question.
Given what we saw from Nick Chubb last week, he's got to go in, regardless of scoring format. Standard, half, full, doesn't matter. Nick Chubb is the play. Now, when it comes to Miles Sanders and Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders has the better matchup. And we've seen Jamal Williams sprinkled in on top of Aaron Jones. Are you willing to go Miles Sanders over Aaron Jones?
I think I would still go Aaron Jones and Miles Sanders. That's the thing. I don't know.
You're going to sit down Nick Chubb.
I would sit down Chubb over those 2 guys.
Wow.
I just think that Sanders and Jones has the backfield to themselves, essentially. We got unlucky last game with a Boston Scott 25-yard scamper touchdown. And the one carry that Corey Clement got, he scored a touchdown. Where Nick Chubb still has to, although they want to run the ball a lot, he's still in there with Kareem Hunt. It could, having both guys be as successful as they are is going to be
But Nick Chubb in his first week back had over 100 yards rushing, got the bulk of the carries. Him and Kareem Hunt had 250 yards on the ground.
I know, but they go against the Philly defense that is fairly stout against the run.
You are certifiably crazy.
I love Chubb. I just think his two other options are top 5 options this week, potentially. Or top 10, top 7.
I'm going Nick Chubb, who I think is probably one of the best running backs in football, if not the best right now, given all the healthy options. I'm not sitting him down. It's him and Alvin Kamara who have been the best running backs this year. I'm going Nick Chubb, and I'm going Miles Sanders. I'm going to sit Aaron Jones down against a tough Indy defense. I mean, whoever you've got in your flex, I think you maybe got to try to put Aaron Jones in there too.
Yeah,
that's a great group to have, but I'm not sitting down Nick Chubb.
I like it. All right, Young Lord, PPR, pick 2, Kalen Ballage, Gio Bernard, and Mike Evans. This is the first Mike Evans questions we've had in a while. He is the most touchdown-dependent wide receiver in the league right now, going against a very difficult Rams defense. But it feels gross to start Ballage and Gio over a stud Evans.
Yeah, I still think I'm willing to take the shot on Mike Evans just for his red zone utilization. I mean, the guy 6'5", he's got a massive catch radius, and he doesn't get it done on the ground, yards after catch. He's virtually non-existent in that part of his game, but I'm willing to take the shot on Mike Evans. He's still a start for me every single week, regardless of matchup. And between Kalen Ballage and Gio Bernard, I mean, probably Gio Bernard. Less competition.
Yeah, man, this is so tough. Like, for me to even consider starting both running backs seems crazy.
It does,
but it's not out of the question.
I'm still willing to go Mike Evans. I mean, it's a riskier play to go Mike Evans than go the 2 running backs who project to get a lot of work. I think Giovanni Bernard is relied upon more than Kalen Ballage.
Yeah. This is wild. We got so many questions today, guys.
Godwin, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, or Marvin Jones Jr. full PPR. That's 2 wideouts and a flex. So we're looking to sit one of these guys. And for me, I'm sitting down Marvin Jones.
Yes, with the injury to Matt Stafford, they could be running the football a lot. It just might be an Adrian Peterson, Kerryon Johnson game. I would sit down Marvin Jones as well. He's been on fire, but yeah.
But so has T. Higgins, and Godwin and Keenan Allen are very reliable when healthy, which both of them are right now. So if you weren't here for when I said Keenan Allen 65 straight targets without a drop, getting the volume, very sure-handed. T. Higgins has been great, and Chris Godwin, when healthy, is awesome. So I'm gonna sit down Marvin Jones.
Yep.
Goddard or Fant?
Goddard or Fant? I would start Dallas Goedert. I've got a really good feeling about him this week.
I like it. Ahmed or Duke Johnson. Pick 2, Woods, Cooks, Parker. I'm going to go Duke Johnson over Salvin Ahmed. And
then I would go Woods and Cooks.
I would as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Kerryon or Melvin Gordon. I would still go Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Eric feels me about the COD. That is me every update. Their COD servers need a major upgrade. Yeah, brother.
That was so long.
It was, but it's a nice reminder of the people that are feeling the same pain.
Yeah.
Andre, Connor, or Gio. You got to go James Conner.
James Conner. Start Chris Godwin or Gio Bernard. I would start Chris Godwin. Griffin, I agree with Mac. Have the same feeling about CEH. Yeah, man. I think I do too. I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah. April. Start Michael Thomas with Taysom Hill or Chase Claypool. Oh, man.
I would honestly go
I'm going Chase Claypool. I am. That is an option that I do like over Michael Thomas. There's not too many of them, but Chase Claypool does give you that upside.
Rushing, receiving, touchdown, it's all there for Claypool.
You go, okay, yeah, Chase Claypool had the big game, but The last couple weeks, it's like 10 targets, 12 targets, 8 targets. Like, he's getting the football.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
He's Kirk Trainer, love your channel. Y'all do your homework. Thank you, Kirk. Really appreciate that. Need some wide receiver help in a full PPR start. 3, AB, Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Marvin Jones Jr. with Kenny Golladay out.
Thielen for sure.
Okay.
You're testing my. I hate Antonio Brown questions now.
I think you gotta sit. I think you gotta sit Marvin Jones. That's still where I'm living.
Yeah. Sure. Sit Marvin Jones. Let's go.
Well, okay, so Antonio Brown. This is really where you gotta think between Antonio Brown and Marvin Jones Jr. One projects to get a ton of volume from a potentially injured throwing hand. I mean, we saw Jameis Winston go through the same thumb injury last year. He played through it, but at times, I mean, a ton of thumb injury or not, a ton of turnovers for Jameis Winston. But he struggled to get the football out with velocity. I don't know if that problem exists with Matt Stafford, but AB in a healthy situation with a healthy Tom Brady or Marvin Jones, who will get the best corner coverage, who's getting the ball from Matt Stafford, who has an injured throwing hand. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Technically, my rankings do have Marvin Jones above Antonio Brown. So if you want to be technical about it, that's now substance matters, context matters. But
what does your heart say, Lando?
My heart says sit down, Jones. I'm hoping so. I'm playing against Marvin Jones Jr., but that's just a bias that I have.
I have a feeling that the Marvin Jones, everything kind of points to him being heavily relied upon, him being needed if they can't run the football, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a trap. I'm going to say go AB.
Okay, cool.
Gaming, JML, Matthew Stafford or Alex Smith. In that instance, I would still go Matthew Stafford.
Yep, I like it.
Andre, start Big Ben or Cam as quarterback. Oh, man. Cam is my quarterback start of the week, but I think I'd be willing to go Big Ben over him.
You got to go Big Ben over that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Start DJ Chark, Jalen Reagor, Michael Pittman Jr., or Jerry Jeudy. We've got DJ Chark the highest. If you want a ranks, I would probably go Chark, Jeudy, Pittman, Reagor.
Okay. Yeah. Basim, Deontay Johnson, or James Conner at the flex in a full PPR. I think you still go James Conner.
Conner for the floor, Deontay for the ceiling. The guy's been
I think James Conner's in for a bounce back game as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. Let's get it.
I get. You never want to drop Aaron or put Aaron Rodgers on the bench, but I feel you, man. It's when you have those two stud quarterbacks, it's always hard to decide. It's almost like you flip a coin because they all have potential to have big games.
Look, it's a good problem to have. One. It's not like I think you'll be disappointed by either option, right? Omega in my flex. Should I start Gurley, Ridley, Damian Harris, Robert Woods, or Robbie Anderson? Damn.
I'm super down on Todd Gurley just in general.
So I did the math, Landon. He's right now 1 touchdown per week is his dependency. If you take those, even cut it down to 50%. It's like 4.5, 5 running touchdowns, which is pretty much on par for Todd Gurley outside of his 16 touchdown season with the Rams. 15 touchdown season. He would be a running back, almost a running back 2. He'd be like the running back 25 without those touchdowns. Yeah. He has not been good, averaging like 3 yards a carry. He's really been saved from a fantasy perspective on his ability to get into the end zone sometimes in garbage time. So yeah, I'm kind of with you on Todd Gurley. It's not been a very confident play for me. If he doesn't get into the end zone, he's disappointing. 100-yard game.
Yeah, I see. So I would definitely. I'm sitting down Todd Gurley.
It's between Ridley and Woods for me.
Yeah, between Ridley and Woods, we've seen Ridley be elite. He scores touchdowns. I would still probably go. I'd go Ridley in the better matchup. Woods for the floor.
I like it. Pick 3 to start: Antonio Brown, Marquise Brown, Jarvis Landry, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman Jr. in a full PPR. Marquise Brown is a sit for me.
Yeah, start Jarvis Landry.
I don't know how far we're going to downgrade DJ Moore. He certainly becomes a riskier play.
Yeah, I would still probably start DJ Moore.
Antonio Brown, Jarvis Landry, DJ Moore, or would you
go
Michael Pittman over AB?
I would go AB over Michael Pittman.
Antonio Brown, Jarvis Landry, DJ Moore. Thank you for the question. Controversial. Maybe a controversial name. Maybe that's why it's nice. I see what you did there. Edward Hannafin, what do you guys think of Eckler coming back, and what role will he have when he does? Man, this is a tough one. Like we said, based on what the fantasy doctors had talked about, that Austin Eckler might not be back until week 12. And this week they play, remind me again, Landon, the Jets.
The Jets,
so it's like, could Austin Eckler come back this week? Maybe. It was in the timeline a couple weeks ago. Would they need him? No. We project the Chargers to be quite solid against the Jets today. Don't need the help of Austin Eckler. But next week, they might need them. Correct me if I'm wrong. They play the Bills. Chargers play the Bills next week.
I can bet that's quite possible.
That might be a game where they need Austin Eckler. But you look at the state of their season, last in their division, not competing for a playoff spot. Are they really willing to put Austin Eckler, the future of their franchise at the running back position, in jeopardy for the sake of a lost season? I think not. I don't know if he'll be used heavily when he does come back. There's definitely a narrative to be written there that doesn't support Austin Eckler in a big workload. So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
And the other side, man, the problem with these injuries is they're so we're in the dark a ton. Now he's one of the few players that actually posts that he's running. And so if he is 100% and wants to play and tells the coaches he wants to play and is 100%, man, this guy could be a league winner. He's a top 12, top 10 running back, no question. The volume he was getting, Herbert's phenomenal, but there is risk involved. It's a high-risk play. If you have him, hang on to it, put him on your bench, keep him on IR, no risk. Don't trade him away right now. Just keep him on your IR spot, and that's all you can
100%. Okay, Lando, we need to go less analysis, more answers.
Yeah.
People want their answers, and we've only got about 25 minutes left. So, Joe Burrow or Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan. Darryl Henderson or Jonathan Taylor? Is it surprising that someone dropped Taylor, just picked him up this week? No, it's not surprising. I would start Jonathan Taylor. Darrell Henderson has a tough matchup. Jonathan Taylor has a dream matchup this week.
Do it. Yo, the Camp Bass. What is good, my man? Controversial. Pick 2 to start. CEH, Balaj, Jonathan Taylor. CEH and Balaj.
And I would go... I would go the same. I want to start Jonathan Taylor, but I think the better play is Balaj. Taysom Hill, Matt Stafford, or Joey Burrow? Not starting Taysom Hill.
Joe Burrow
as well. Official J, full PPR flex, James Robinson, Justin Jefferson, Robbie Anderson, J.D. McKissick.
James Robinson. No, James Robinson for the floor, Justin Jefferson for the ceiling.
I still think you go James Robinson regardless.
Okay. Godwin or Gurley, half PPR. Godwin. AB or DJ Chark. DJ Chark.
Long time, first time over here. Help a brother out with my quarterbacks.
We helped
you
out,
Yeah,
bro.
we got him. Okay,
Love
cool. Start Calvin Ridley or James Conner at the flex in a full PPR.
Conner for the floor. Calvin Ridley had a midfoot sprain as well. There's a chance he re-aggravates. Everyone's still watching when asking about Calvin Ridley. There's a chance that he goes out in this game. So although we love him and we hope he's back full and back for good, there's a high risk play. So go with James Conner in this scenario.
Salvin Ahmed or Deontay Johnson or Brandon Cooks? Deontay for me.
Deontay Johnson. Okay. He's on fire.
Dill Pickle 13.95. I'm struggling between who to start between Justin Jefferson, AB, or T. Higgins.
I'll go Justin Jefferson.
And I would go T. Higgins. AB's out of the question there. Flip a coin.
Yep.
What is this, a 4-team league?
Duke or Gio? I would go Duke.
No,
Gio.
I was going to say.
Gio.
It's Gio's B-Day, so he could be going off. Little birthday game.
Yeah. Narrative Street. Scotty loves that.
Is Justin Jefferson a roster lock every week at this point? I mean, given the big games that he can have, I mean, it's not like we've seen 100-yard game. We've seen several now. And the ability to hook up with Kirk Cousins every now and then points to, yes, if you want to reap the benefits of the high, week winning games, you got to be willing to stomach the lows. This is no different than what you see with Tyler Lockett or Tyreek Hill. So yeah, I think Justin Jefferson is a weekly start at this point. He has been fantastic.
You're never going to get the boom games without starting
Highs
them every
lows.
week. You just got
Parth, Terry McLaurin, or Chase Claypool. I'm going T-Mac.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin. It's close, though. You got two great options.
Xander in must-win territory right now, fringe playoffs. Would you trade Mixon for a T. Higgins? Hi. I mean, how...
Yes, then if you need a win right now, Mixon's not doing anything
right. I mean,
for
Mixon's coming back week 14. You might want him for your fantasy playoffs, but if you don't get there, it doesn't matter. So, yeah.
Yeah, do it. Higgins or Claypool? I would go Claypool, Adam.
And I would go... Yeah, I'll go with you. They're pretty much back to back in our rankings. So I'll go Claypool with you.
Yeah.
No love shown for the Rams defense in the rankings. Do I sit them for a stream against Washington or Lions given Bridgewater being out?
I would still stick with the Rams.
I would as well. They are top 10 against fantasy assets across the board. So, yeah, go with them. AF24, pick 2, Robert Woods, Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, or Jamison Crowder. I would be going Robert Woods and Chris Godwin.
Yep, Robert Woods, Chris, absolutely.
Who do I start for my flex in a full PPR? Gio Bernard, J.D. McKissick, or Kalen Balazs? Man, we've seen these names time and time again.
I know. Don't go back because it might be different answers.
Well, it does make a difference though if it's start 2 in your running back, have a flex. In this case, we're just looking for who potentially has the biggest game.
And I think, Balazs. I still think it's Gio.
I do too. J.D. McKissick. If we were pairing McKissick against a wide receiver, it's like in a full PPR, it's like, well, okay. The passing volume for McKissick has been quite good. So for him as a passer, you got to go McKissick in that situation. But where you're picking from all three, it's like who gets the most carries, who gets the most passing work, who has the best touchdown upside. It's between Bernard and Balazs for me. Bernard has a tougher matchup. Balazs has more competition. I'm probably going to stick with Bernard.
There we go. I like it. Nicholas, Goddard or Hooper? I would go Hooper. I do love Goddard this week. I think he has
also
a big game.
Peterson a safe start? I wouldn't use the word safe, but I think a decent start.
I would use the word a little bit.
Wait till you
safe.
see Carry on Johnson out there just ripping carry after carry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gibson or is like garbage Balazs. I like that.
Yeah, I would go Antonio Gibson, my man. You got to go Antonio Gibson.
Absolutely.
You have to. Derek, thank you guys. You're very welcome. You're very,
appreciate
very
you coming
welcome.
by, Derek, each and every week. Always see your name. Love the questions.
If we have new people in here right now, we've got 29 people watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000, and we are jacked up. We have tons of great questions. We appreciate you, and we will get to every single one. We have 15 minutes to go.
M. Neal found us from Twitter, so thanks for coming over, M. Neal. Boyd or DJ Moore in a standard league? I think you got to go Tyler Boyd, especially given the news that Teddy Bridgewater is inactive this week.
Yes, absolutely. Go. Yeah, Boyd, no question.
He also has another question. Gio or Hunt? Got to stick with Hunt, man. Got to stick with that Cleveland Browns running attack. Start 3, including a flex. So is that a 4 then? Or no.
No, I would say that's still 3.
T. Higgins, Chase Claypool, Adam Thielen, CeeDee Lamb, Gio Bernard, and Jamison Crowder. I don't know why I read Bernard ahead. In a full PPR.
Thielen Claypool and Claypool are in for me for sure. In a full PPR, maybe go T. Higgins over Bernard. We've said that before.
Yeah, it is tough. It certainly is tough. And if you want to start one running back out of the group, I don't mind. For me, it is between Bernard and Higgins. So however you decide between those. But I think Claypool and Thielen are definitely good pieces for you.
Yeah. And Crowder gets tons of disrespect. I get that. But, Gio for the floor, T. Higgins for the ceiling. The guy's a monster.
Yes. LTMX, full PPR, pick one, Michael Thomas, T. Higgins, or Jacoby Myers. I mean...
rankings
Michael
on paper,
Thomas.
I'll go Michael Thomas, but high risk involved. Yeah, there's tons of scenarios that may or may not happen. If it's Taysom Hill the entire game, it's probably T. Higgins. If it's I don't know, man.
I've said it before on the stream about an hour ago. If you want to get cute, Jacoby Myers, I think, is the best play here. 19 fantasy points per game over the last 4, being quite good. But I'd still roll Michael Thomas. But if you want to get cute and try something different, Jacoby Myers is a lineup tinker you could make.
There you go. Cup or Godwin? I would probably go Godwin.
100%.
Godwin. Carr, Stafford, or take a shot with PJ Walker. I'm not going to take a shot with PJ Walker. Love that, though. I would probably go Derek Carr over Stafford.
Yep.
They show that they could beat the Chiefs. I don't expect that to happen again, but he's been good for fantasy, and Stafford's banged up.
Chase Claypool or DJ Chark in the flex and a half PPR.
Claypool.
Okay. PPR, Miles Sanders versus Cleveland, or is that Mike Davis against Detroit?
Mike Davis versus Detroit, yeah.
That one's tough, man.
I love Mike Davis this week, but I still go Sanders. I really like Mike Davis, though.
Yeah, I would go Sanders as well. J.D. McKissick, Kalen Ballage, or... Oh, sorry. Wait, what?
Plus Marvin Jones. I would go...
I'm confused by the question.
So he's thinking...
Is he saying McKissick and Ballage or McKissick and Jones?
Yeah.
I'd probably go McKissick Ballage.
There you go. Go McKissick Ballage. Devontae Parker or Michael Thomas? I would go Michael Thomas.
I have got a text question coming in.
Off the grid.
Melvin Gordon or Darrell Henderson this week?
Melvin
Gordon.
Puke. Melvin Gordon. Yeah. Zach Foster. Hey, guys, late to the party today, so not sure if y'all answered this already, but Gio Bernard or Naeem Hines. I would go Gio Bernard in a full PPR.
I have one more text question, Lando.
Okay.
Marcus Valdes-Scantling or Mike Williams or Amari Cooper?
Oh, it's between, I would go Amari Cooper and then Mike Williams and then the first guy you mentioned.
I agree.
Do you think Sony is back this week? He is not. He is not back this week. Play Rex Burkhead or should play Devontae Booker. I would actually probably play Rex Burkhead over Booker and Hunter Renfrow.
One more question coming in from Bob. His question should have been Malcolm Brown or Alan Lazard. I'd probably go Malcolm Brown for the touchdown upside.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of all you're hoping for. It's possible that I think Lazard for the just pure yardage upside, I guess. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Zach Foster, hey guys, late to the party. Oh, you got this one, right?
I just got that one. So Alexander Smith, do you think Sony's back this week? I said that. Justin Van Perry's. Mike Evans, DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Jacoby Myers, half PPR. I need 2. AJ Brown and Jacoby Myers?
Yeah.
Or AJ Brown and Mike Evans.
Yeah. Geez, man. AJ Brown for sure.
Yeah.
I might have been inclined to say DJ Moore with Teddy playing, but now that he's not playing, it's like do you go for the touchdown
There's just
upside
this
of
big
Mike
old-
Evans, or do you go for the potential volume of Jacoby? I think you go Jacoby Myers. As crazy
There you
as
go.
that sounds.
Yeah. Pick one to start in full.
And
I just
did
lost
we
it.
did we fully answer Alex Smith's question? Should he play Devontae Booker or Hunter Renfrow? I hate the guy I'm playing this week.
I would say I said I would play Rex
Okay.
Burkhead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Over those
Beautiful.
guys.
Dill, pick one to start in a full PPR. Chark, AB, T. Higgins, or Justin Jefferson. I feel like we've had this list before.
I
Still go Chark.
Yeah, I would go. See, yeah, I'm gonna switch it up. Maybe
Justin
I'm gonna go
Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
Zach found the snap earlier in the season. Really appreciate that about this channel. So tough to get questions answered in the big streams without spamming. LOL. Yeah.
We got you, Zach. We got you. Every single one. We got still a lot
Man, I feel
more.
like today's been the busiest the chat has been, and we're still trying to make it through. We might have to go into overtime today, Landon. But 44 likes on this video. You guys are absolutely crushing it. We work hard because you guys make us, and we love that about this community that is growing.
Plus, Mac said all of his lineups before the stream, so we're locked in and loaded.
We gave ourselves like 5 minutes a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't have time to switch because I play in 11 leagues. I just didn't have time to switch players out, and I was starting inactive players in a couple. So the love I have for you guys is costing me some matchups. So I got to be a little bit better.
I need a wide receiver and a flex. Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, Keelan Cole, Mike Williams. Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller for me.
You're going to start both of them.
Oh.
I would go Gurley and Cooks.
You have Cooks over Fuller
do.
this week? Okay.
But, I mean, I'd be starting Gurley, and
it's hard not to start Gurley, even though we
don't love the touchdown dependency. He has the touchdown upside. So the dependency comes with the red zone exposure, which still exists.
Yeah.
So Gurley and Cooks would be my answer. And I guess maybe you're going Gurley Fuller?
I'm going Cooks.
You're going
Fuller.
both of them. Okay, interesting. Claire, Deontay Johnson or Chase Claypool for a PPR flex. I think here I'm still going Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, we got love for Chase Claypool. Pretty much love for all Pittsburgh pass catchers except for Juju. I'm still not feeling it from Juju. James Conner or James Robinson. I would go James Robinson.
Yep, I like that.
Should I start both running backs for the Cleveland Browns? I think yes, if you don't have any other options. They are great together. Explosive, very productive, a tough cover for opposing defenses. I'd be willing to start them both, kind of like you did with Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara years ago.
100%. 100%. You can easily do that this year.
Absolutely. Taysom Hill or Jared Goff at quarterback? It's Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, even though he's been Mac has been a big fan of Jared Goff, and he has been frustrating for him all year long.
Yep.
But you still got to go Jared Goff.
Yeah, just the unknowns of Taysom Hill as a passer. We just haven't seen it. There's no sample size other than a couple trick plays here and there. 2 running backs hurt in my half-point PPR league. Start Lindsey or Latavius Murray at running back 2. I already have Kamara, but this Saints game could be run heavy. Yeah, I mean, playing 2 running backs from the same team does limit your upside, and I know we just talked about the Browns with both of them. I don't mind it either.
Actually,
Latavius has been fine. Phillip Lindsay, I still think, is a second fiddle to Melvin Gordon. I could see them being very comparable this week, but if you want to secure the touchdown in this game, you go with Murray and Kamara.
Yeah, if you want to secure the upside, I think it's Lindsey and Kamara.
Okay. AB or Evans or AB, Evans or DJ Moore. I would start Mike Evans over Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I still would as well.
DJ Moore would be probably my answer here, but no Teddy Bridgewater this week certainly hurts his chances of being productive.
And M. Neal, we're going Boyd over Moore this week.
For the same reason. Tyler Boyd has been great, gets the bump over DJ Moore, who is playing again without his Teddy B.
Sharkzilla. Yeah, sorry about that. It took a hot minute to get your question answered.
Me. It's been a crazy chat, but
yeah.
We try to get to them all. Robert Woods.
What's
Robert
up?
Woods, AB or JD McKissick. Also considering Todd Gurley.
Robert Woods for me, and then it's a JD McKissick, Todd Gurley, AB in that order.
Okay. 3-part question. Kicks my game. Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, Justin Jefferson. Pick 2. Chris Godwin, Robert Woods, Justin Jefferson. I would go Godwin Woods.
I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go Woods, Jefferson.
Pick 2 out of Cam, Burrow, Brady, Rodgers.
I would go Rodgers.
Pick 2.
And Brady.
I would go Rodgers, Cam. Pick 2, do I dare sit Henry this week in favor of a nice matchup for Balaj and Gibson? Absolutely not.
No.
That is
no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I do like Gibson. He's my second choice. But
for sure. And, we'll leave it at that. Alex, who do I start for my PPR? Flex, Gio Bernard, JD McKissick, Kalen Balaj. I mean, we've had this question, what feels like half a dozen times now. Yeah. Gio Bernard's the answer for me. And I think Landon's on board with that too. Yep.
Bernard, Balaj, McKissick in that order. Man, we got to 50 likes. Can we get to 60 likes on this video? We'll go till 1 o'clock if we get to 60 likes,
Brian,
guys.
What are you doing to me, man?
We're going to 60 likes, 10 more likes, guys. We have 25 people watching. I know all of y'all watching have already liked the video, but if you haven't, we'll go right up till kickoff if we get 60 likes, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate you.
You know how hard it is to work with Landon sometimes. It's just, he gets so happy. You guys just push him over the edge. Hey, Martin, Rager or Parker, best boom or bust play? I think Parker's your best boom play there.
Yeah, I think Parker has a chance to have a bounce back week. Oh man, we just got 5. We're like that. Rager is a boom player. I think Parker still gets that volume. He was disappointing last week. He had a touchdown called back. I think Parker's still the safer and still has a good boom play.
For whatever reason, I thought that touchdown stands, but I can't remember why it didn't. It was maybe not a foot down or something like that. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, M. Neal, last one. Ask as many as you like, Neil. Flex in a standard, Geo or T-Mac. I'm going Terry McLaurin.
You have to go Terry McLaurin.
Trey S. full PPR flex. Oh, I just lost my question. It jumped. Chat jumped. Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Gurley or Geo. Thanks, fellas. For me, it's between Woods and Gurley. The touchdown dependency, like I said, with Gurley is certainly there. However, the red zone exposure is a part of that. So I think I would go Robert Woods out of this group. Gurley a close second.
I like
Mark
it.
Andrews or TJ Hawkinson?
I'm going to go TJ Hawkinson.
I would go Mark Andrews given the status of Matt Stafford right now.
Yeah. Pick one player, Devontae Parker, DJ Chark, Brandon Cooks, Jameson Crowder. It's a standard league. Bronco plays one player. I'm going to go DJ Chark. Stay with the narrative of the day.
Help, Brandon says. Who should I play, DJ Moore or Jalen Rager? I'd still be willing to take a chance on DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, do not watch the game. Don't watch it.
L. Rivas, Hines, Gio, or Robinson need 2. I would be going Hines and Robinson.
I'd go Gio and Robinson.
Lamb, Keelan Cole, and Brashad Perriman need 2. I would be going Lamb and Perriman.
I would also go Lamb and Perriman.
Okay. Robert De Niro. Man, we got celebrities in the chat with us. Dope.
Oh, Travi, the Whispers.
Hey,
what's up, guys? Check out their channel. They've got a great channel. They already have 1,000 subscribers. These guys are killing it.
Pick 2, Ronald Jones, Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley. I would go Rojo and Calvin.
Yeah, Rojo and Calvin. Again, like I mentioned, Robert, that Ridley does have an injury and it's a chance of having it re-aggravated. We know Ridley has a great ceiling. He was the number one wide receiver at one point in the season. If he's back fully healthy, he's a stud. So otherwise, if you are a high risk player, go with what Mac's saying. Otherwise, go with Godwin.
Yeah, if you want to mitigate risk, you go Godwin Jones for sure.
Yeah.
Bambuzi, full PPR. Chark, Fulgham, start one. Chark, no doubt.
Chark over Fulgham, absolutely.
Andrews, Hawkinson, we answered that one. I'm going Andrews. Landon's going Hawkinson. And then
go
Gio.
Kareem
Hunt. The Dream. Hunt, start Gio Bernard or Damian Harris. Ooh, still going Gio.
Still going Gio, absolutely. I think Damian Harrison for a ton of volume, like 19 carries this week. But Gio is all by himself in that backfield as well. 5 more likes, guys, and we're going to go another 15 minutes. Let's get it. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, and we are going to go right till kickoff. Let's go. What is up, Travi?
5 more LFG.
I love Travi. He's a beauty,
Travi,
that guy,
if you
man.
ever want to, change of scenery and come on over to the boys, just let us know.
Hit us up.
or double time it. That works too. Corey, Boyd, Higgins, or Cup in a full PPR. That's a tough one. Boyd.
I'll go Boyd, Cup, Higgins.
Boyd, Cup, Higgins. I like that. Higgins is certainly the most risky play given the matchup, but
one more like, guys. One more like. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Oh, we got a question from the boys at the Whispers. Michael Pittman, MBS, McCole Hardman asking for a friend. I would go Michael Pittman there, Whispers.
I would as well. I mean, MVS certainly has the downfield upside, but with Alan Lazard projected to make his return, I'm not sure that he will be as relied upon. And then McCole Hardman is just a head scratcher. Every single week, you just never know who it's going to be. So I'm going to go Michael Pittman, even in a game where I don't think the Colts will throw as much given how poor the Packers are against the run. Michael Pittman should be the number one wide receiver. So, oh no, the hands are up.
61 likes. You guys are freaking awesome. This is by far our most popular video. We have tons of questions. Hey, if we get 100 likes, I will sit with you and watch football.
I'm shutting it down. Just like it did with the NFL draft. I'm shutting it down. Damn, Jordan Love.
Start Harris or Higgins for the flex. Did you answer that yet?
That's a tough one, man. I think Harris is the safer play for you. If you're projected to win your matchup, you go Harris. If you need a bigger play, you go Higgins.
Yeah, I think I would probably just go Harris just as a safety, straight up.
Hydro drop, Pittman, Rager, or Chark. Pick 2. I would go Pittman, Chark.
Pittman, Chark. Absolutely.
Chark sounds like a made up name. Oh, this is my friend Pittman Chark. Tobias.
Your alias. That might be my alias.
Tobias, Kalen Ballage or Marvin Jones at the flex. Sent you a DM on Insta asking the same thing. Yeah, sorry, brother. If it comes to 11 o'clock on a Sunday, we are here instead of on the IG. You certainly understand why. But I would go Kalen Ballage.
I would go Kalen Ballage as well. Colts or Rams D. I think we've had this one before. I would just go Rams D.
As good as the Colts are on the defensive side, I am afraid of the Green Bay Packers and what they can do offensively. So Rams D is going to be the play.
100%. Gio or Ballage at the flex for the 1,000th time. We're going to go Gio Bernard.
We should just have that up on the screen for next time. Like,
yeah.
In case you have this situation, I could build that into the graphic. Yeah. Brandon Cooks or DJ Moore, wide receiver 2 in a full PPR. I think,
Brandon Cooks.
DJ Moore has certainly been downgraded just because of Teddy Bridgewater being inactive. So I'm going to go Brandon Cooks there. Henderson or AP.
We're almost at 100 likes, guys. Let's go. 100 likes. Let's get it.
You're crazy, man.
Henderson or AP, full PPR. I'd probably actually go AP here. Is that crazy?
A little bit. But just, again, given we're seeing Cam Akers sprinkled in. We're seeing Malcolm Brown vulture the goal line touchdowns. He had 2 last week. Darrell Henderson is going to be the lead back, but is he used in the most valuable parts of the field? That seems to be inconsistent. I think it's a coin flip, honestly. AP could have himself a decent day. I do expect Kerryon Johnson to be involved. So when you look at who might catch the ball the most, I'd probably go Henderson just ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a close one there. I think it's an AP game personally. Carolina cannot stop the run.
Yeah. Hines, Gio, and James Robinson in a full PPR need 2. I'm going Hines and James Robinson.
Love it. 60, yeah, bamboozle. We love it, man. We are got to 64 right now. I'm jacked up.
And for everybody still in the chat, please do me a favor. Go over to the Fantasy Whisperers and drop them a like and a subscription. They are a partner of ours. We love doing content with them, even though we haven't lately. It's just been so busy, but they're putting out tons of shows over there, streams. They do the same thing every week, especially for some Thursday night matchups. So if you want to go and get another great fantasy channel, check out the Whisperers, please. Our community to theirs. Share the love. Got to get over and check them out. Vinster76, start Justin Jefferson or Chris Godwin at the flex. I'm going Godwin. Even though Jefferson could have a big game, I'm going Godwin.
Yep, I would go Jefferson.
Okay. Brandon Cooks or Marvin Jones with Golladay and Amendola out in a full PPR, still going Cooks.
I'm still going Brandon Cooks as well.
Chargers
or Browns D? I'm feeling Chargers D this week. I'm feeling Chargers D.
I'm playing Chargers in like 7 out of 11 leagues.
I'm so mad. They've been so bad. I don't know if Bosa's in or not. I haven't seen that news.
Doesn't matter. It's Joe Flacco, man.
Yeah.
Hi, if you are not big on Robert Woods this week, so what about Brandon Cooks or James Crowder in there for a half point? No, I am. I do believe Robert Woods is the play over. I like Brandon Cooks too, but Robert Woods is a candidate I have rest of season that might be a big difference maker for you.
Yeah, I think Crowder is a sneaky play. He gets a ton of targets, but I think the upside still lies with the other 2 guys.
Yeah, I agree as well. Tobias, thank you. We will keep up the good work. Keep on coming back. We appreciate you being here. Is it safe to start James Robinson? Absolutely it is. If that's Allen Robinson, then no, because he is on bye this week.
Sorry, I was going to respond to Bamboozle there. What would you just say?
I said if it's Allen Robinson, don't start him because he's on bye.
That's correct. Do not do that.
Moises, DJ Chark, or Salvin Ahmed in a full PPR at the flex. I'm going DJ Chark.
I'm going DJ Chark as well. Thanks for the share, guys. Thanks for coming by. 15 people still watching. The real OGs still watching. We appreciate you, and we've all caught up, man. We are caught up to the chat.
And if you guys missed it, the Panthers have made a change at quarterback. They are playing PJ Walker as an emergency start, sitting Teddy Bridgewater down, as well as Sony Michel was activated yesterday but will not play today. So a little bit of a boost to Damian Harris owners.
Yeah. So should he trade Chub for Aaron Jones?
No, I would stick with Chub. As much as I love Chubb, Aaron Jones, man, Nick Chubb is, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in football.
Yeah.
Super underrated.
He's great.
He's unbelievable. DJ Chark or James Robinson, did we get that one? I think we had that question twice. Maybe.
I would stick with Robinson.
Yeah, I would stick with James Robinson as well. He's a do-everything kind of player for the Jags right now. So, yeah. AB or Evans. I've said it before. I'll take the shot on Mike Evans.
Yep, take it. Yeah, just you're hoping for efficiency there with the touchdown potential for Evans.
Absolutely. Please, if you guys have enjoyed today's stream, feel free to go on over and check us out on Apple Podcasts. A rating and review really goes a long way. If you don't have a chance to write a review, just give us a rating, what you think we're worth, and that really helps with the channel, as well as our sponsor, Manscaped. We're coming up to holiday season. Time to get some gifts. If you guys are feeling like you might want to pick something up for a loved one, a friend, Manscaped has some great products for men's grooming above and below the waist. So check them out. Use the code SNAP20 at checkout and get 20% off plus free shipping. That's manscaped.com. Your balls and face will thank you.
Thanks. Good luck, everyone. 5 minutes till kickoff. We love you guys. We have 66 likes on the video.
You guys are crazy, man.
This is awesome. This is awesome. You guys, every week you do not
Disappoint.
You do not disappoint. No. I'm blown away.
I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we get to 1,000, 2,000. Getting through all the questions is going to be nearly impossible, but we will do our best. And appreciate you guys. Good luck this week. Love the love, and we will see you. Watch out for our Thursday podcast and our Saturday podcast next week, as well as a bulk of videos outlining some players that might be good start sits, might be injury related. Watch out for the videos coming up this week on the channel. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Good luck, and we'll see you. Take care.